In this video, I'm going to give you guys 5 reasons why you should use a tuning fork to tune your guitar. So let's get started. Reason number 1 is that it trains your ear. Anytime you use an electronic tuner or a phone to tune your instrument with, you actually throw an opportunity away to train your ear. And I've noticed that the more students rely on technology to tune their instruments, the worse their ears are. Disclaimer, I have nothing against electronic tuners. I do think they have their place in the music world and they have a lot of good things going for them. However, if you want to level up your musicianship, I think that using a tuning fork is a great way to develop your ear. Number 2 is that you can actually tune more accurately with your ear. Now yes, using a tuner can be very accurate, but the way that our tuning system is set up is that everything is actually not in tune. Everything is just enough out of tune that you can play in all the keys and you sound good. However, if you're going to play in a specific key, you can actually make some minor adjustments so that you sound more pure and more in tune. And this is the reason that I stopped using a tuner, because I would use a tuner and get greens everywhere, and I know that I would be in tune, and then I would start playing a piece and be like, man, I sound out of tune. Why do I sound out of tune? I just tuned, and I would check it. My tuner would tell me that I'm in tune, and then I would play, and I'm like, it's not in tune. Like, my ear is telling me otherwise, right? And that is because my ear was hearing some of those fine intervals, right? My ear is pretty sensitive, and I would notice that I would sound either sharp or either flat, especially when playing thirds, because a lot of times when you play thirds on guitar, they are sharp, and so you can actually sometimes tune a string, depending on what key you're in, a little bit flat so that it sounds more in tune. And I'll give you an example right now to illustrate exactly what I mean. Let's say I'm in the key of A major maybe, and I have this C sharp, A to C sharp on my second string. A lot of times my tuner will make that B just slightly too high, and I want to make that actually the opposite, just a little bit flat so that it sounds more in tune. And your ear allows you that capability to make those kind of fine adjustments. Reason number 3 is that this thing never runs out of batteries and is always reliable. Reason number 4 is that it prepares you for real world situations. Let's say you're playing a gig with a pianist, right? And you guys go to the venue and the piano player has to play whatever piano is at that venue, right? Maybe it's an old piano and it's out of tune. Well, if he plays the out of tune piano and you play your guitar in tune, you guys are not going to sound good together. So what do you have to do? You have to tune your guitar to the piano, right? That way when you guys play, you'll actually sound like you're in tune together, or mostly in tune together, right? Another example might be if you're playing with orchestra, right? If you're playing with orchestra, you're not going to say, hold on guys, let me just get my tuner and tune my guitar real quick, right? No. You're going to get your pitch from the oboe, right? And you're going to tune to the oboe like the whole orchestra does. Or let's say maybe you're playing a piece that's in an alternate tuning, which we do a lot in guitar. Oftentimes if you're playing in an alternate tuning, you start playing your piece and like midway through the piece, you start to notice that your string starts to go out of tune. If you don't have a good ear, how are you going to know that? But if you have a good ear, right, you can identify, okay, which string is out of tune? You might say, okay, it's the third string. As you're playing, and then you're thinking, okay, is it sharp or is it flat? Okay, maybe it's sharp. And then where's the next cadence that I can fix that note, right, without interrupting the music? And trust me, if you do that, your audience will thank you because they don't want to hear you play out of tune. So that is why number 4 is that it prepares you for real world situations. Reason number 5 is that it makes you a better musician. So having good ears is a fundamental element of being a musician, I would say, right? Like, can you call yourself a musician if you don't know how to use your ears? Maybe, I don't know. But I would say that using a tuning fork definitely helps you develop those ears. They become more sensitive. You start to listen to things more carefully, and you can start to notice the slight, subtleties of if something's in tune or if something's out of tune. So that is why I highly recommend you start using a tuning fork. Again, I have nothing against the electronic tuners. I think they're fantastic and they have a place in this world for music. But if you want to level up your musicianship and become better, I would say develop those ears. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh yeah, and remember to like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See ya.